Good evening. We are bringing you commentary of Wycombe Wanderers against MK Dons, I should say, against Wycombe Wanderers from the League One playoff semi-final second leg. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and you are listening to the Commentary Hub. We're now going to go through the starting lineups for both MK Dons and Wycombe. Formations to follow in a short while. Starting with MK Dons, in goal is number 1, Jamie Cumming. Number 3, Dean Lewington. Number 5, Warren O'Hora. Number 6, Harry Darling. Number 11, Theo Corbeanu. Number 14, Connor Coventry. Number 9, Scott Twine. Number 18, Hiram Bertang. Number 20, Troy Parrott. Number 21, Daniel Harvey. And number 29, Kane Kessler Hayden. On the substitutes bench, number 23, Franco Ravizzoli. Number 2, Kenai Watson. Number 7, Matt Smith. Number 8, David Kasumo. Number 15, I should say, Aidan Baldwin. Number 17, Dan Kemp. And number 19, Connor Wickham. For Wycombe Wanderers, in goal, number 13, David Stockdale. Number 3, the captain, Joe Jacobson. Number 4, Dominic Gape. Number 5, Anthony Stewart. Number 6, Ryan Tavazzoli. Number 9, Sam Vokes. Number 12, Gareth McCleary. Number 17, Daryl Horgan. Number 23, Jordan Obita. Number 26, Jason McCarthy. And number 28, Josh Scowen. On the substitutes bench, number 30, the reserve goalkeeper, Tyler Dickinson. Number 2, Jack Grimmer. Number 7, David Wheeler. Number 11, Lewis Wing. Number 16, Sully Kai. Number 20, Adebayo Akinfenwa. And number 38, Chris Forino. Liam Manning has made a couple of changes. Theo Corbeanu comes in place of Josh McEachran, who is suspended after being sent off in the first leg after shoving a Wycombe midfielder to the ground during an argument. He had already received a yellow card for an earlier foul, but this reckless shove in the argument only contributed to his to a second yellow card, and as a result, he was sent off. And this only resulted in his suspension. Wycombe come into the second game at the Stadium MK, leading 2-0 on aggregate. So you could say that they may have the upper hand, but expect MK Dons to be on the score sheet at some point. Although that being said, a 2-goal deficit is difficult to overcome, though. Need to remind you that the winner will face either Sheffield Wednesday or Sunderland at Wembley Stadium on May the 20th. Sunderland currently lead their game on aggregate 1-0. And both Wycombe and MK Dons can rest easy, knowing that there are no fresh injury concerns for either of the two sides, which is why most of the lineups remain relatively unchanged. Hiram Bertang and Theo Corbeanu were actually on the subs bench in the first leg match on Thursday. They start today. Troy Parrott came close to scoring a couple of times, so expect him to feature strongly. There are about 2,000 Chairboys fans at the Stadium MK, mostly filled with Dons fans. But Wycombe Wanderers' record at the Stadium MK isn't good. They've only won twice. They've only won twice in the 8 times that they've played. They've only won 8 times in the. They've only won twice in the 8 times they've played there. Their last win was back in November 2019 in the EFL Trophy. However, you have to look all the way back to April 2010 for their last and only league win at the Stadium MK. Gareth Ainsworth was in the playing squad back then. So other players to look out for MK Dons, in my view, include Scott Twine and Hiram Boateng could also feature. David Kasumu, who actually started last time, currently on and is now on the subs bench. He featured quite strong. He featured quite strongly on Thursday as well. So expect him to come off. So expect him to come off the bench and feature quite strongly as well. Connor Wickham, impressed. Connor Wickham did really well as a substitute for MK Dons, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's brought on at some point. Wycombe Wanderers, Ryan Tavazzoli and Sam Vokes were the goal scorers on Thursday, if you remember. So look out for them. Gareth McCleary, he assisted. He helped set up goal opportunities and even assisted Sam Vokes' goal. So look out for him as well. Jordan Abita should feature strongly as well in this game, but other players could spring a surprise or two, such as Anthony Stewart and Joe Jacobson, who was very effective as the Chairboys captain. Dean Lewing. That's not to say that Dean Lewington did his club a disservice at all, because he did pretty well as captain. And also another player I forgot to mention for MK Dons is Kane Kessler-Hayden. He set up a few opportunities himself and even came close to scoring as well. And as I talk to you, the players are at the mouth of the tunnel. They're just about getting ready to come out. Now will be a good time to mention our referee and other match officials. Our referee is Tom, for this game, will be Tom Bramall. Assistant referees Andrew Dallison and Craig Taylor. The 4th official is Tim Robinson. And the reserve assistant referee is Mark Pottage. The rest of the substitutes and the management are making their way out of the tunnel right now. So Joe Jacobson and Dean Lewington look ahead to the ground. So the referee just making 1 or 2 final checks just to make sure that everybody is in the correct position. Just seeing Jack Grimmer sprint his way out of the tunnel to take his place on the bench. And the way things are, I personally think Wycombe might just edge this one, given that they had their given the 2 goals they scored. I did say that if they got in a couple of goals, that would prove key come the final aggregate results. But given their record at the Stadium MK, I wouldn't be surprised if MK Dons somehow managed to get the upper hand. And as I speak, the officials and the teams are now walking out onto the pitch. MK Dons wearing all white. Wycombe Wanderers wearing their blue quarter shirts, and the fans are actually at the top half of one of the stands. I think they're at the sort of the far end. Like I say, only 2,000 of them. And now going to look at the team formations. MK Dons are in a 3-4-1-2 formation. Coming in goal the back three of O'Hora, Darling and Lewington, Kessler Hayden, Coventry, Boateng and Harvey in midfield. Corbeanu and Twine are flanking Troy Parrots. Bit of a different lineup. Bit of a very different lineup decision by Liam Manning as compared to Thursday. As for Wycombe Wanderers, they're going for a 4-2-3-1 formation. McCarthy, Stewart, Tavatsoli and Jacobson, the back four. Gape and Scowen are flanking McCleary, Horgan and Obita. Sam Vokes is once again the lone striker. So Wycombe have to at least get just one more goal to consolidate their lead. Remember, it's the final aggregate results that will count towards the playoff final. Dominic Gape, he was a pretty good player on Thursday. He actually started the win in the 2020 playoff final against Oxford United. I think he might have been the first goal scorer. No stranger to playoff and promotion. Scott Twine, 20 goals for the Dons this season. And as I said earlier, he's someone that could feature highly. Wycombe Wanderers now getting into a huddle and breaking apart right now. Joe Jacobson was an effective captain on Thursday. The MK Dons players standing around in the centre of the circle, and it looks like the referee is getting them. It looks like they're all getting ready, and they're taking the knee for the stand in the fight against racism. MK Dons showing a sign of applause. It was the Wycombe Wanderers players that stood, and it'll be MK Dons to kick us off as we count down to the start of the League One playoff semi-final, second leg. The referee blows the whistle, and away we go for the playoff second leg, and it's MK Dons with the ball early on, with Warren O'Hora passing to Kessler Hayden. Kessler Hayden pursued by Obita, across by Kessler Hayden. Headed away by the Wycombe captain Joe Jacobson. Scowen now with the ball, but MK Dons take it back. This is it's now with Corbeanu. Corbeanu trying to find someone to cross it to, but well blocked by Jacobson. Corbeanu should have crossed a bit early when he needed to, and that's only resulted in a corner for MK Dons, and the Dons need to score soon early on if they are to put a dent in Wycombe's lead. As Scott Twine kicks the ball into the goal area, headed over by Harry Darling, and that almost went in the net. MK Dons not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Hiram Boateng trying to crosses it into the goal area, but cleared away by Jason McCarthy for Wycombe. That was a decent effort by Harry Darling. He did everything right in my view. It was just unlucky that it bounced off the crossbar, and the game appears to have started as it's meant. And the players appear to have started as they meant to go on, and it's only going to result. And another corner has been awarded to MK Dons. Twine kicks the ball into the goal area, but this time Wycombe are quicker to respond. But MK Dons are still hungry with the ball. Connor Coventry crossing towards Twine. Now it's back to Corbeanu. Corbeanu crossing this time. And almost headed clear by Stewart, and now McCarthy. Darling passes to, I think that was Connor Coventry. It's now going down towards Theo Corbeanu. Jason McCarthy tries to take the ball off him, but Corbeanu still holds on to Daniel Harvey. Harvey now with Harvey now with the ball for MK Dons, but clipped away or deflected, I should say, by Daryl Horgan. So Wycombe with their backs up against the wall fairly early on, but appearing to hold up well to the challenge. As things stand, this game so far, it's MK Dons 0, Wycombe 0, 2-0 aggregate to the Chairboys, and a third corner to MK Dons taken by Twine and almost headed in by, I think that might have been Coventry, but Wycombe were able to clear their goal space. And they're still reacting to the pressure very well. The ball headed away by the Don skipper Dean Lewington. So MK Dons appearing to be the more aggressive right now. Wycombe perhaps being a bit cagey right now, and Gareth Ainsworth knows. And Gareth Ainsworth, he's been around the team a long time. Knows the Chairboys inside out. And it'll be Jason McCarthy with a throw-in for Wycombe. McCarthy throwing to Vokes. Now towards Obisa, who passes down the field to McCleary. McCleary tried to hold on to the ball, but Darling deflected it off for a throw-in to be taken by Lewington towards Darling again. Harry Darling, long-range cross by Harry Darling, but intercepted by Jacobson. And I think that will result in a throw-in to MK Dons. No, Wycombe, or should I say Wycombe? This time, Joe Jacobson. Jacobson trying to find the correct angle to throw, which he does. I think he was aiming for Sam Vokes, but it was actually Horgan that got the ball. But Dons were able to steal it. Headed towards McCleary by, I think that was Obisa, but Harvey now has the ball for Dons, although given away to Jason McCarthy. McCarthy passing it to McCleary, now back down the field to Stewart now. Stewart passes to, I think that's Tavazzoli. Indeed it is. Tavazzoli holding off Boateng. Now passing to, I think that might have been Obita. But it's now with Dominic Gape. Gape crossing to Sam Vokes, but picks up. Or actually, Gape, it was upfield. That might have been Tavazzoli. Now it's McCleary. McCleary passing to Horgan. Crossed by Horgan, but picked up very well by Kane Kasler-Hayden. But Wycombe are still hungry for it. Back pass by Josh Scowen to the Wycombe goalkeeper, David Stockdale. The Dons might have been aggressive early on, but Wycombe are starting to catch up, I feel. And the ball is now with Jordan Obisa, who passes to Vokes. Vokes now towards McCarthy down the field. McCarthy, or should I say down wing? McCarthy tries to pass to McCleary, but I think the ball was kicked out by Daniel Harvey, and a throw-in has been given to Wycombe. McCarthy to take the throw for Wycombe. And it appears to be, and it's a clear summer's evening it's a clear spring evening, I should say, at the Stadium MK, as McCarthy throws to Horgan, who passes back to McCarthy, but it's another throw-in, but it's a throw-in this time to MK Dons. Or Wycombe, yes, I think it was MK Dons. And a push but from behind by Scowen on Twine. Nothing given, says the referee, as Connor Coventry passes to Warren O'Hora. O'Hora now towards Kasler-Hayden. Kasler-Hayden, he's running towards the pit. He's running towards, passes to Troy Parrott, who passes to Harvey now. Harvey trying to find an opening to cross it to, but well tackled from behind by Jason McCarthy, although Harvey momentarily winded. He should be able to get back up on his feet, though, as Harry Darling now catches the ball, but he needs to find someone to pass it to, and he does. It's O'Hora. O'Hora does a long pass to, I think that's So I think that's Corbino. Now back towards O'Hora. O'Hora passing now to Coventry. Now back to O'Hora. Coventry managed to pass before Gape could tackle it off him, and now it's gone to Corbino. Corbino now with the ball for MK Dons. He's trying to hold off the advances of Obita and Jacobson. Jacobson tries to tackle the ball, but Coventry. But Corbino crossed well to Parrott, only for Wycombe to steal it back. 8 minutes in, still MK Dons 0, Wycombe 0, and Wycombe still lead on aggregate by 2, and Wycombe still lead 2-0 on aggregates. Boateng now has the ball for MK Dons. Daryl Horgan trying to close him down. The Republic of Ireland international. Kesler Hayden towards Scott Twine. Twine now passing to Troy Parrott. Parrott trying to go around McCarthy. He passes to Scott Twine, but well intercepted by Jason McCarthy. Not for long, though, as Twine still holds on to the ball. He passes to Lewington. Lewington towards Coventry. Coventry now. What can he do? He passes slightly up the wing to Boateng, and it's now back with Kesler Hayden. Kesler Hayden now towards Corbino. MK Dons appear to be getting closer to getting themselves on the score sheets as Corbino passes back to Boateng. Now Coventry. And Corbino again. Corbino tries to find a way past the MK Wycombe players. He did towards Coventry. Now back towards Boateng. It appears that the MK Dons fans are appearing to like this. The handful of Wycombe Wanderers fans who have travelled up the M40 to watch this aren't liking this at all right now. As Troy Parrott, Troy Parrott tried to find a way through, but I think the ball just went over the line. And I should actually correct myself. The Wycombe fans should be modestly satisfied, because if things stay as they are, of course, Wycombe will advance through to the Wembley playoff final as McCarthy takes the throw for Wycombe. But the ball was just caught by Connor Coventry. Now Wycombe take it back, given away though to Harry Darling. Now back towards Dominic Gape, and it's Boateng now for MK Dons. He passes to Kesler Hayden. Kesler Hayden now with the ball for the Dons, straight back towards Corbino. Corbino passes back to Kesler Hayden. Kesler Hayden needs to cross this one into the goal area and quickly. They haven't. MK Dons have wasted that particular opportunity as Horgan gives the ball away to MK I think that was O'Hora. Most of the action so far throughout the first half has been in the Wycombe goal area. 44% as a Wycombe player has gone down. I couldn't make out who it was. Gareth Ainsworth pacing himself by walking up and down the pitch. I think it might have been Scowen who was fouled, but either way, it's resulted in an indirect free kick to Wycombe to be taken by the captain, Joe Jacobson. He lines himself up with the free kick and swiftly takes it, but Sam Vokes just could not get to the ball. I think he was blocked by Warren O'Hora, Yes, he was blocked by O'Hora. Now another free kick to MK Dons, quickly taken by Darling towards Scott Twine. Now back towards Darling, Lewington, and now the goalkeeper, Jamie Cumming. Cumming clears the ball out towards Kesler Hayden. Kesler Hayden tries to find someone to pass it to, but it's been given away to Joe Jacobson, and I think that'll be a goal kick to Wycombe. So the action's not quite as explosive as it was on Thursday, but there's still time. There's still time. It could change. And one thing I forgot to mention about Sam Vokes is that he's scored 5 in his last 7. And Mila Jedinak, the Arsenal loan player development coach, is actually watching Kesler Hayden, who actually joined Dons on loan from Aston Villa back in January. As Lewington now passes to Scott Twine, but Wycombe poorly gave the ball away with a tackle, and it's now gone back to Harry Darling. Now Theo Corbeneau. Trying to go around Joe Jacobson. Corbeneau needs to find somewhere needs to find an opening shot, and it almost looked like he was going in, but it was deflected by David Stockdale, and good reflexes by the Wycombe stopper, Scott Twine. I mean, Theo Corbeneau did everything right in my view, but what he did, Stockdale did better, and a corner has been given to MK Dons. They need to make this one count. They didn't, and Wycombe once again successfully defending their goal area. Gape tries to tackle Connor Coventry. Coventry tries to push him away, and the referee sensibly breaks up the argument. But it doesn't look like it's being diffused right now. Coventry appears to have calmed down. Anyway, throw-in quickly taken by MK Dons. Kesler Hayden now towards Corbeneau. Corbeneau passes back to Boateng. Boateng now towards Coventry. Coventry now with the ball. And he's now passed to Lewington. Now Darling. Darling passes up the field to O'Hora and Corbeneau. Corbeneau running up the field towards the ball. He's just outside the Wycombe goal area now towards Boateng. Now Daniel Harvey. Harvey passes to Scott Twine. Scott Twine, can he find an opening? The answer is no. The ball has gone just wide. He should have aimed a few inches closer, and I think that's the closest. Apart from Corbeneau's attempt on goal that hit the crossbar, that is the closest. That is the second closest anyone has been to scoring all game. Wycombe Wanderers need to start attacking up front as well themselves, but they appear to be doing more defending than attacking at the present time. We're coming up to 15 and a half minutes at the Stadium MK. It is still MK Dons, Wycombe 2. Wycombe still lead 2-0 on aggregate as Gareth McCleary looked like he was about to cross into the goal area, but deflected away by the MK Dons defenders. And it looks to me as though it will be an MK Dons throw. And I thought it was going to be a Wycombe corner, but I don't think it. But it would have been a few. But had that been a few inches closer, it might well have been. As Tabatsoli crosses to Vokes, but Vokes misses the ball. In actual fact, Vokes is offside. Offside ruled against Wycombe. Vokes might have been just marginally ahead of the last defender, but he hasn't got anything to say about it, and neither do I. So I have to say that the decision went ahead as Boateng now has the ball for MK Dons. So he's advantage played, says the referee, as he's passing to Harvey, who I think has shoved Jacobs, who I think has shoved McCarthy, and McCarthy shoves him in retaliation, and that isn't on. And whatever Harvey might have done to antagonise McCarthy had no right to shove him to the ground. And Hiram Boateng, he's lost in 2 League 2 playoff finals throughout his career, but at the moment it seems to be like he might as well lose out this time. No card given against either players or against either player. Although I think Jason McCarthy should have at least been given a yellow in my view. As MK Dons take the free kick with Scott Twine. Twine tried to find. I think it might have been Troy Parrott who came close to scoring from that free kick. So superb delivery by Twine, but poorly given up. But no, in fact, it wasn't. It was Daniel Harvey who came very close to scoring. It just missed the post by several inches as Stockdale clears the ball out of the Wycombe goal. But Wycombe now have the ball, and it's Anthony Stewart now for Wycombe, passing to McCarthy. McCarthy crossing to Darryl Horgan, but picked up by Dean Lewington, and I think Lewington might have shoved McCarthy out of the way there, but so just a normal incident. Harvey towards, I think that was Stewart. Deflecting the ball away. I think it might have been Paris who the ball was aiming for actually. So throwing to be taken by MK Dons. Daniel Harvey getting ready to throw, which he does. He throws to Coventry, but Coventry sends the ball out again. This time for a Wycombe throw-in. 19 minutes gone. Still MK Dons 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0, and the Chairboys still lead 2-0 on aggregate. Liam Manning looking very calm and composed on the touchline as Horgan tries to head to Obita, but cleared away by O'Hora, and MK Dons still have control of the ball. It's now Troy Parrott with the ball. Troy Parrott trying to hold off the advances of Gape towards Corbeneau. Corbenau's shot actually hits the side netting. Had he been a few inches down the wing, it could have resulted in the opening goal for MK Dons, and they've had 4 shots, none on target, with 9 touches in the opposition box. Wycombe have so far had no shots. So if Wycombe want to make sure of their place in the playoff final, they need to at least score 1 this evening, just to make sure. And Horgan might well be doing that now, but deflected by I think that was Darling. Indeed, it was. And I think that's the closest Wycombe have been to scoring so far. Horgan did everything right, but the ball was deflected off by Darling, and that has resulted in a corner for Wycombe. They managed to score their opening goal with a corner on Thursday. Can they do so again tonight? As Joe Jacobson lines himself up to take the corner kick for the Chairboys. McCarthy is the one closest to goal. Tavazzoli appears to be in the same position he was on Thursday. Gareth McCleary could score this one too, but wasted corner kick by Wycombe Wanderers, and it still remains 0-0. It still remains 0-0 on this game. The ball just whistled over everybody. And even though Anthony Stewart was the closest player to it, it does nothing to alter the score. As Josh Scowen tries to close down Coventry, but Coventry wisely passes to O'Hora, now towards Corbeneau. Corbeneau running up the pitch, trying to hold off the advances of Jacobson. He passes down the field to Boateng, and it's now with Scott Twine. Scott Twine tries to find the shot, and he shoots too high. It goes over the crossbar, and whatever opportunities MK Dons are having with the shots, they're wasting them. and it is now a corner to MK Dons. I think a Wycombe player might have gotten the last touch to it, but so far a wasted effort by MK Dons. And it's now back with a Boateng. Boateng now with the ball for MK Dons, deflected towards. I think that might have been affected by. I think that might have been towards Darling. But we'll just have to see as a Gareth Ainsworth takes a drink of water to calm the nerves. Anthony Stewart now looking very composed, trying to calm himself down. Almost 23 and a half minutes gone. It still remains MK Dons 0, Wycombe 0, although the Chairboys still lead 2-0 on aggregate. Sam Vokes tries to head the ball towards a teammate. He does so, but it's given away now to MK Dons, and it's Lewington with the ball now for the Dons. Kesler Hayden does a long range cross. I think he was trying to find Corbeneau, but it was poorly given away to David Stockdale. Stockdale now with the ball. He rolls it towards. I think that's Ryan Tavazzoli. Tavazzoli now crossing the ball towards Sam Vokes, but headed away by Harvey this time. But Jason McCarthy manages to steal it. Scowen back towards McCarthy. McCarthy does a long range cross to, I think that might have been Dominic Gape. But MK Dons are able to steal the ball back. Poorly given away to Stewart. Stewart passing back towards Stockdale. At this moment in time, I'd say there's nothing to choose between these two clubs. Even though Wycombe still have the aggregate advantage. Kesler Hayden now with the ball. He passes down the wing to Corbeneau. Corbeneau trying to find an opportunity to cross it through. Blocked by Jacobson. He passes to Boateng. Boateng towards Troy Parrott. And in it goes. I think it's a goal. Yes, indeed it is. It's a goal for MK Dons. I did say they would come onto the score sheet, and they have. 1-0 to them in the game, and they've reduced the deficit to 1. Superb delivery, but it was actually an assist by Boateng, and I think Parrott just headed it in. When he needed to, and Stockdale just could not get to the ball in time, and this is bad news for Wycombe. They need to regroup fast if they are to hold on to their lead. They need to start scoring within the next couple of minutes. This is Troy Parrott's 10th goal this season. The MK Dons fans are on their feet applauding Troy Parrott, and McCarthy crossing. I think that was towards Obita, but Cumming was able to save that one just in the nick of time. Cumming passes to Warren O'Hora. O'Hora passing to, I think that's Lewington. Lewington now passing again to Scott Twine. Scott Twine running up the field. Looks like a balloon or something has been thrown onto the pitch. And the ball is now with Troy Parrott. Parrott brought down by, I think that was Dominic Gape. Gape is furious, or was it Josh Scowen? No, it wasn't. No, it was Scowen. It was Scowen that fouled Twine, or should I say Parrott? That was a bit unnecessary. I think he's just stomped on his foot a little bit, and and that caught, or I think actually kicks him in the foot, and that caused Parrott to lose momentum, and as a result, he just went down onto the ground. I'm surprised Scowen has not been given a yellow card, although I think he should, although if he hasn't already, he should be by now. But it's only given MK Dons a free kick. They need to make this free kick count, and if they do, they will level the score. And they will level the score, and they will level the score. It'll be Scott Twine to take the free kick. Everyone in position. Everyone appears to be in position. The referee doing a couple of final checks just to make sure that everything is ready for the free kick to occur. He blows the whistle. Scott Twine runs up towards the ball, punched away by David Stockdale. Appears to have redeemed himself after letting Troy Parrott's goal in. Superb use of his fists. Scott Twine did everything right, and had Stockdale not been alert or just caught out unawares, I feel sure that ball would have gone in the net. But MK Don's work is not yet done. It's a corner kick to be taken by the Dons, along a pass via Twine to Corbeneau. Corbeneau passing now to Daniel Harvey, although I think that might have been Twine or somebody has gone down. It looks like a Wycombe Wanderers player is going to go in the book. I couldn't quite see what happens. It's Josh Scowen. Josh Scowen. He's committed one too many offences so far. He's had a couple of verbal warnings, but he's not listened to them, and as a result, that is his first yellow. And as a result, that is a yellow card, his first of the season. What a time to do it! And Gareth Ainsworth not looking too happy with the situation right now. And it will be yet another free kick to MK Dons. And this time they've changed. Whoever will take the free kick, it'll be Harry Darling, I think, who'll take the free kick, or will it be Theo Corbeneau? David Stockdale needs to compose him. David Stockdale needs to compose himself, and the referee wanting to make sure that everyone is in position, and it'll be Twine with the goal kick again, with free kick again, I should say, and it's just scrape the side netting. He aimed. His aim was a few inches short, I think. But had he just turned the angles a bit more to the right, in my view, that would have been the second goal for the Dons, and the aggregate score would have been level. There is still a long way to go, though, and David Stockdale appears to have hurt himself. The physio's coming over to have a look. I think he might have. I think he's clutching at his chest or something, or is it something to do with his arm? The physio now feeling his hand. It might be pretty. It looks pretty bad. I can't tell if it's broken or if it's bleeding. This was the goal by Parrott, and this was the goal by Parrott, which made the MK Dons fans go absolutely crazy. But that's not what I'm concerned about right now. My concern right now is the welfare of David Stockdale. More news updates on him as and when we get it. And one of the players that's won the playoff with League 2+ with MK Dons in the 07-08 season is in the stands. I just about missed his name. I think he was called Kevin Carpenter or somebody. Do let me know. Do let me know in the comments. And Gareth Ainsworth now calling his team over for a quick discussion on how they're going to improve their performance as David Stockdale still receiving attention by the physios. It looks to me as though there might be a few minutes added on for the second half, but the MK Dons fans don't. But the MK Dons fans don't appear to care about this right now. They're just enjoying themselves, knowing that their side has the upper hand right now. But David Stockdale, he's been checked over by the physios. He appears to be all right, which is good news. Composing himself. He needs to focus himself. It was his right hand that was I think bandaged up by the officials. But he's still able to play though, which is good as he clears the goal for Wycombe, and the ball is now with I should say Jason McCarthy now towards Gareth McCleary now passing back to Daryl Horgan couldn't hold on to the ball for much longer, and it was a deflection by Scott Twine. We're almost approaching the 34th minute. It's now MK Dons 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0. It's the aggregate score is now 2-1 to Wycombe. But the Chairboys need to score another goal, and soon, if they are to consolidate their lead. The ball is now with McCarthy, but poorly given away to Connor Coventry, and it's now with Daniel Harvey. Harvey does a long-range pass, but poorly given away now to Ryan Tafazzoli. Tafazzoli crossing up the field now. I think he's trying to find Sam Vos, but it's been pushed down to McCleary. McCleary trying to find an opening, can't. Blocked very well by Dean Lewington. MK Dons now have the ball back. And it was Troy Parrott trying to pass to, I think that was Lewington, but Stewart now steals the ball and passes back to David Stockdale. Stockdale gets ready to kick the ball out of the Wycombe goal, which he does, and but it's given away to MK Dons. Darling now with the ball. He passes to Harvey. Harvey back towards Lewington. Lewington now passes up the field to O'Hora. O'Hora now passing to, I think that might have been Harvey. Now back to Lewington. Lewington now towards Daniel Harvey. Harvey given away to Wycombe. Now it's with McCarthy. McCarthy trying to find Vokes and does so. Vokes now with the ball for Wycombe Wanderers. Can he find an opening? He does well to hold on to the ball though, but in his attempt to do so, he appears to have tripped up Harry Darling. But Wycombe still in possession with the ball. No, they are not. It's actually MK Dons with Boateng. Boateng passing to Harvey. Now it's with Lewington. Now Coventry straight towards O'Hora. Now it's with Corbeneau. Corbeneau running up the field, but but almost tackled from behind by Joe Jacobson. It's a throw-in to MK Dons, I think. This was the earlier attack, and was it actually a handball by Lewington? I think it might have just bounced off his arm. I think it did, but nothing given against Dean Lewington, and that's bad news for Wycombe Wanderers. It seems to me as though all the decisions in this game are going against them right now, as Darling passes to Corbeneau. Corbeneau now back towards O'Hora. No, should I say Lewington? Darling No, it was O'Hora. Now Lewington. Lewington now for MK Dons. Lewington crosses the ball to Troy Parrott. Troy Parrott, he scored the first goal. Can he make it a second? Almost passes to a Scott Twine, but Twine's effort was just wide. It was just wide off the. It was just wide off the post, and just wide off the post. I think Twine just missed it. I think Twine might have actually missed it. It might have been deflected by a Gape, but it actually wasn't. So MK Dons were not able to make it 2-0 on the night and level the score. But they're still very much the dominant force right now. Although they might be starting to tire themselves out as we are about 7 minutes from half time. It's still MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0. But Wycombe still lead the game 2-1 on aggregate. Lewington towards Harvey. Harvey does a long pass, I should say, to Hiram Boateng. Boateng now towards Corbeneau, and now Kane Kesler Hayden. Kesler Hayden does well to hold off Jordan Obita, and it's now Connor Coventry. Coventry towards Troy Parrott. Now back to Coventry and Theo Corbeneau. Corbeneau now enters. Theo Corbeneau now enters the goal area, but passes to I think that was Coventry, blocked by Wycombe. Blocked by Wycombe, and had nobody been there, that would have been an easy long shot towards goal. But they could take advantage of this with a throw in. Almost 5.5 minutes from time. Harvey with the ball. It's now straight towards Boateng. Boateng crosses the ball further towards, I think that's Harry Darling. Indeed, Harry Darling it is. Darling passing to Coventry. Now back towards Darling. The ball has now ended up with Theo Corbeneau. Corbeneau passes to, no, actually it is Corbeneau. It might have been O'Hora towards Corbeneau. Corbeneau now enters the goal area. Tries to find Twine, but Wycombe did really well to defend. But Wycombe did very well to defend that one. And it still remains MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0, and we can now taking another look at that. Bit of a bungled effort on goal by Corbeneau, and the Wycombe defenders were able to take advantage of that. And it's still with it's now with David Stockdale. About 4 minutes until half time. It still remains Wycombe leading on aggregate 2-1, but the match result is still MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0, as McCarthy passes to McCleary. Now back towards McCarthy. McCarthy passing to Anthony Stewart, and it's now with Ryan Tavatsoli. Tavatsoli towards Gape, and Gape now passing to McCarthy. Now Gareth McCleary. Gareth McCleary crossing the ball up the field and was aiming for Obita, but Obita couldn't get to the ball in time. And what was Joe Jacobson doing with a shot like that? He should have got in a couple of inches closer, in my view. But MK Dons they've had more attacking more attacking throughout this first half. It could well be their home advantage. They were certainly at a disadvantage at Adams Park on Thursday. But now that they're the home side, I think they're using that. But now they're the home side, I think they're using that more to their advantage. As Harry Darling passes to Coventry. Coventry tries to cross, but deflected away by Obita. The ball is now with Boateng. Boateng passing to Coventry, now towards Troy Parrott. Parrott passes to Daniel Harvey. Is there a chance for another MK Dons goal? No. Not quite this time, but offside. It's the offside flag has been given. And I think they would have not. And I think Twine knew about this, which is why he subsequently deflected us away. Harvey was he offside, or was it actually Kesler Hayden that was offside? I think it might well have been Kesler Hayden, but either way, that opportunity is ruled out. And it's resulted in a goal kick to Wycombe to be taken by Stockdale. Stockdale has cleared the ball away, finds Gareth McCleary, and the ball, it was almost with Daryl Horgan, but given away to MK Dons. Wycombe need to stop giving away the ball like that if they are to maintain their aggregate advantage. And it looks like it could well be equalised soon as Parrott goes for a long-range shot that I thought was going to end up in the net, but it's found Daniel Harvey all the same. Harvey does a back pass, which is picked up by Wycombe. McCleary crossing to, I think that's Sam Vokes. Sam Vokes bundled down, but McCleary manages to run away with the ball. McCleary passing to Dominic Gape. Gape holds onto the ball. He passes back to McCleary. McCleary goes for McCleary. McCleary looked like it was goal bound, but Cumming was able to save that one just in time. And McCleary has been the one that's been closest to scoring for Wycombe all game. But had he been a few inches closer and found a way to distract Jamie Cumming, that would have been the goal for Wycombe, and 3 minutes have been added on for extended time, or should I say stoppage time, as David Stockdale will get ready to clear the ball. He's having a bit of a chat with. No, actually, he's not. He's trying to psych out. He was trying to psych out Troy. No, Scott Twine, but the ball is now back with Stockdale. Anyway, Stockdale clears the ball out a second time now. He's trying to find. I think that was Dominic Gape. But it's ended up in the hands of Cumming passes to O'Hora. O'Hora now with the ball, passes down wing, I should say, to Harry Darling. It's now with Lewington. Lewington passes to Parrott, and now it's with Daniel Harvey. But Wycombe still doing really well to hold on in defence. And Lewington now towards Harvey. It's going to be a throw-in to MK Dons. Harvey composes himself, gets ready to take the throw. And Gareth Ainsworth directing operations from the touchline. It's now with Scott Twine. Twine trying to hold off Scowen, but can't. Scowen does really well to tackle, and the ball is now with Sam Vokes. Vokes tries to pass to Jacobson, but Troy Parrott now has the ball once again. Now back to what? Now it's with Theo Corbino. Corbino goes for Corbino aims for goal, but the ball just went past, just whistled past the post. I think it scraped the net again, and apart from that earlier Troy Parrott header, MK Don's other attempts on goal have been wasted, or did David Stockdale have a hand to it? I think he might just have palmed it away. But it's only it's resulted in an MK Dons corner. Scott Twine gets ready to take the corner. Passes to Harry to Parrott. Parrott goes for a shot, but it was too high. It went over the crossbar. Like I say, MK Dons are wasting their goal. Like I say, MK Dons are wasting their goal opportunities. They obviously have the more aggression, but they're not using it effectively. And there goes the halftime whistle to signal the end of the first half. Wycombe on the back foot for much of the game, but they're holding up really well in defence. MK Dons haven't taken advantage of the earlier goal that they scored in the first half. Can Wycombe Wanderers turn things around, or will MK Dons further increase their momentum? Halftime score at the Stadium MK. MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0. The Chairboys still lead 2-1 on aggregates. And we're going to go for a quick break. Join us again for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of MK Dons against Wycombe Wanderers in the playoff semi-final, second leg. What a difference a few days makes as far as MK Dons are concerned. They go into this game a goal ahead of Wycombe Wanderers, yet they are still 2-1 down in the final aggregate results. But whether it'll stay that way or change remains to be seen. It'll be down to the next 90 or so. The next 90 or so minutes could make all the difference as to who will go through to the Wembley playoff final in 12 days' time. Wycombe Wanderers need to come up with some fresh tactics to not be phased by MK Dons. They need to start attacking more. They need to start attacking more and to score at least score at least just one or two more goals just to consolidate their lead. Gareth Ainsworth did say in a pre-match interview that this would not be an easy task, and the Wycombe fans must know that the squad can't be complacent right now as they prepare for the start of the second half, which should be just a couple of minutes away now, as the players are now making their way out onto the fields. No half-time substitutions have been made as of yet. But expect to see a couple more players coming onto the pitch. Adebayo Akinfenwa giving a pep talk to Gareth McCleary as Gareth Ainsworth makes his way towards the touchline, taking a drink of water to calm his nerves. So talking to his assistant manager, and this time it'll be Wycombe to kick the game off. They'll be kicking from right to left. They'll be kicking from right to left, and MK Dons will be going from left to right this time. The sprinklers on the far side just about dying down now. Obviously watering the pitch just to make sure it still remains in relatively good condition. And the next 45 minutes could be crucial in deciding who will go through to the Wembley playoff final. And as I speak, we have just about got underway for the second half. And MK Dons in possession early on, but Wycombe trying to take it off, courtesy of Josh Scowen. And Dominic Gates now is now behind Coventry, but MK Dons still aren't phased and holding on to the ball. It's now with Scott Twine now towards Corbeneau. Corbeneau now with the ball, and he's now entering the goal area, but the ball just whistles past David Stockton. I think he was trying to cross to someone like Daniel Harvey, but the ball just missed. The ball just missed him. Corbeneau should have actually crossed or even had a shot earlier than he planned to. But that's another example. But that's another indication that MK Dons just aren't taking advantage of their more aggressive momentum, as Josh Scowen now has the ball for Wycombe, but given away to MK Dons. Wycombe need to start attacking more rather than defending. And they're not doing that right now. Corbeneau passing backwards to Kesler Hayden, now towards Boateng, now back to Corbeneau. Corbeneau trying to go around. I think that's Dominic Jacobson. It's now back with Kessler Hayden now back towards Corbeau. Corbeau trying to go around Obita and almost deflected away by Josh Scowen. Throw in taken by MK Dons. The fact that Josh McEachran is suspended. The fact that Josh McEachran is suspended means nothing to them right now. As O'Hora passes to, I think that was Coventry. Indeed, it was. Now it's Harry Darling. In control of the ball, and he's now passed to Scott Twine. Now towards I think that was Parrots. It's now back with O'Hora. O'Hora now passing to Corbeau. Corbeau now passes back to O'Hora. O'Hora now towards Darling. Darling passes again to Lewington. He's now found Daniel Harvey. Harvey tries to pass to a Boateng, but well intercepted by Horgan for Wycombe, and the Chairboys now need to take advantage of the ball. Of the use of the ball. They failed to do so that time. It's now Kessler Hayden for MK Dons. Long range shot at goal, but he aimed at the wrong angle. In my view, there was no way the ball was going to go in. Should have aimed just a bit closer. In actual fact, it was a slight tackle by I think that might have been Tavazzoli. Anyway, good interception by the Wycombe defender, but it's only gone and resulted in a corner to MK Dons. They failed to convert corners into goals so far. Can they do it this time? Punched away by Stockdale, and yes, again, another corner opportunity wasted. As the ball is now with Boateng. Boateng passing to Harry Darling. Harry Darling couldn't find the opening. Boateng tries to take it off Wycombe, but fails to do so. Fails to do so on that one, and well cleared over the touchline by Joe Jacobson. We're almost 5 minutes into the second half. It still remains MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0. Although Wycombe still lead on aggregate by 2-1. Jacobson now for Wycombe. He passes to Obita. Obita towards Scowen. Now back to Jacobson. Jacobson passing now to Tavazzoli. Tavazzoli passes down the wing to Anthony Stewart now towards Cumming. Cumming clears the ball out. Headed away by, I think that was Dominic Gate, but given away that time to O'Hora. And I should correct myself for goalkeeper slip up. I mentioned it was actually Cumming who managed to clear the ball out. No, it was Stockdale. It was Stockdale. I do think as it's now gone for a throw into MK Dons. And Liam Manning now starting to show more starting to show more animated body language than I've seen him so far this evening. It's a Wycombe throw-in to be taken by Jacobson. Gareth Ainsworth appears to have fallen silent. Jacobson throws the ball headed by Vokes, but given away to Boateng, who passes to Lewington. It's now with Daniel Harvey for MK Dons. He passes down the wing to Connor Coventry, and it's now gone towards Theo Corbeau. Corbeau now with the ball for the Dons. Wycombe need to start tackling more and start making use of the ball. So far, they're not doing that. As Coventry now has the ball, tries to do a cross towards, I think that was Troy Parrott, but David Stockdale saved. But David Stockdale saves on that occasion. It appears to me as though David Stockdale has been doing all the work for Wycombe thus far. Stockdale clears the ball out. Of the goal area, but it was almost caught by I think that was Vokes for Wycombe, but well tackled from behind by Joe Jacobson. Could this be an opportunity for Wycombe to pull ahead? And it looks like Daryl Horgan Might be trying again. It was crossing towards Sam Vokes, but not to be that time. That was a poorly timed effort. That was a poorly timed effort by the Wycombe forward, and the ball is still in MK Dons possession. 52 minutes gone. MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0. Although the Chairboys still lead 2-1 on aggregate. The ball is now with Harry Darling. Darling crossing the ball up the field to, I think that's Daniel Harvey. Now Troy Parrott. Parrott passing back to Harvey. Harvey passes now back to Connor Coventry. Coventry now towards Parrott. Parrott finds Twine. Now back towards Parrott. Parrott, can he find another opening? No, not quite. I think he was tackled from behind by Jacobson. Really good tackle. Really good tackle. It wasn't a bad one because it appeared to have fouled Troy Parrott. Should that have been a penalty? Should that have been a penalty? I don't know. Parrott had a clear shot at goal, but well tackled from behind by Jacobson. No penalty given. I didn't think there was anything worthy of a penalty in my view. As Harvey now tries to set up another chance for Wycombe. Headed away by Sam Vokes. He's now actually resorting himself to defending rather than attacking. It appears to be all hands on deck right now for Wycombe. The MK Dons fans are loving this right now, but one goal won't be enough to send the Dons forward to Wembley. It's a corner given, and Wycombe were able to hold their line and defend their goal from that particular corner. Throw in this time to MK Dons. It appears even though they might have the more possession, they're just not making the best use of it as Kesler Hayden throws. And Kesler Hayden now with the ball. Tackled by Jacobson, passes to, I think that was Troy Parrott. Anyway, player's been stopped for something. I couldn't quite make out what the situation was as the players just now take a moment to sort of calm down a bit and try and sort out what it was. This was what happened with Joe Jacobson and Troy Parrott. I think Jacobson did actually touch the ball. Which is what would have resulted in that corner. Anyway, Wycombe Wanderers now almost close enough to getting the ball into the MK Dons goal area, but MK Dons doing well to hold on to that. And it's now with Corbeneau. Corbeneau, he's seen quite a lot of action in this game. Corbeneau trying to find a way through, punched away by David Stockdale. He needed to have razor sharp reflexes that time, and he had just that. Corbeneau did everything right. Couldn't be tackled from behind by Obita, and Liam Manning thought that was going to go in, but it just missed. And it's another corner now to MK Dons. They really need to make this one count if they are to bring the aggregate score level. Headed away by Anthony Stewart for Wycombe, and the Chairboys now have the ball, but they give it away once again to MK Dons. Now it's Wycombe back in possession. Headed by Dominic Gate towards Daryl Horgan. Horgan needs to get to the ball, but can't, and it's a throw-in to Wycombe. They need to make this throw-in count, and this was the effort on goal by Corbeneau. He did everything right, but Stockdale was just able to palm it away. So right now it appears. So right now it would appear to Wycombe that Stockdale could well be their saviour throughout this game. And once again, it'll be another throw in to MK Dons. Gareth Ainsworth chewing his bottom lip, trying to keep himself calm. As the ball is now with Warren O'Hora. O'Hora now sprinting up the pitch with the ball. He passes to Kesler Hayden. Kesler Hayden passes up the field now towards Daniel Harvey. Harvey finds Twine. Twine tried to look for an opening, but that was a good tackle by Anthony Stewart. After 57.5 minutes, MK Dons still lead by a goal to nil, but Wycombe still have the aggregate goal lead 2-1. Stockdale gets ready to kick the ball out of the goal, which he does, and it finds Sam Vokes, but I think Vokes was held back by Warren O'Hora. And he missed the ball. Wycombe could not take advantage of that goal kick, but they're still proving to be very strong in defence right now. As O'Hora gets ready to take the throw in for MK Dons, headed by Gape for Wycombe, and it was almost at the feet of McCleary, but MK Dons were able to tackle that. But MK Dons were able to see to that, as it's Lewington passing to, I think that might have been Connor Coventry, now back towards Lewington. Lewington does a long-range cross towards, towards Troy Parrott, but the ball was swiftly tackled. By the Wycombe keeper, David Stockdale. Stockdale wearing all purple. Stockdale throws the ball out towards Ryan Tafazzoli crossing towards, I think that's Sam Vokes. Indeed it was. Vokes was tackled from behind by Harry Darling. He has no complaints about that. He has no complaints about that. That was a legitimate tackle in my view. As Darling passes to Hiram Boateng. Boateng gives the ball away this time to Wycombe. The ball is now with Gareth McCleary. Gareth McCleary loses the ball to MK Dons, and it's now with Kane Kesler Hayden. Kesler Hayden now passes to, I think that might have been Harry Darling. Indeed it was. It's now with Dean Lewington. He passes to Corbeneau. Corbeneau passes back to Lewington. Now Boateng. We've now hit the hour mark. It's still MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0, but in the aggregate score it's MK Dons 1, Wycombe 2. And Corbeneau now has the ball. Wycombe know that they need to. Wycombe know that they need to tackle. Wycombe know that they need to get the ball off MK Dons as soon as possible and start attacking more themselves. They haven't done that very much throughout this game, but they've proven to be very good in defence throughout the second half. As the ball is now with Scott Twine, almost past to Scott Parrott, cleared out by Joe Jacobson and cleared out even further by Anthony Stewart. Great footwork by the Wycombe number 5. But Daniel Harvey gives the ball to Troy Parrott, and the ball goes over the crossbar. It's too high, and Troy Parrott appears to have done his leg and his foot in, or something. Did somebody trip him up? It might have been. Did somebody trip him up? I think it might have been Stewart. It looked like it was Stewart. I thought Stewart actually cleared the ball away off his own accord there, but it might just have been a tackle from behind. But he might have just about clipped Parrott from behind. But Parrott appears to be all right. So no harm done. And I don't think Stewart will be going. I don't think Stewart will be getting any cards for this one. And there is a very disconsolate Josh McEwen watching from the sidelines. As we know, he is, suspended from this game. Sam Vokes now with the ball for Wycombe, but given away to MK Dons. And also there is Mohamed Isa injured, already injured as we know, and throw-in to be given to Wycombe, I should say. Throw-in taken by, I think that was Jacobson, and it was almost tackled, and Jacobson almost had the ball off Parrott, but Parrott gives the ball away to Wycombe, and it's now with David Stockdale. Stockdale now with the ball. He clears it away from the Wycombe goal area as quickly as possible. Was almost caught by Vokes and was almost tackled by a Horgan, although I think Horgan ran into the back of Dean Lewington. Lewington furious. And Lewington furious about it, but it doesn't look like that anything will be given. And Corbeneau has had the most touches in the opposite box with 12, but he hasn't been able to convert anything from it. Them. Speaking of which, Corbeneau now has the ball for MK Dons, but he's passed it now to O'Hora. Now it's with Harry Darling, Dean Lewington. Lewington now passes to, I think, Connor Coventry. No, it was Twine. He passes to Harvey. Now back towards Lewington. Now Harry Darling. Darling now passing to Warren O'Hora. Now Theo Corbeneau. Corbeneau now trying to Corbeneau trying to find an opening. He tries to go for a long shot from the side, but David Stockdale was able to save that without too much difficulty. If any of the teams haven't brought, none of the teams have brought out any substitutes. But I would say now is the time, as Lewington passes to I think that's Daniel Harvey. Yes, it is Harvey. Almost tackled by McCleary, but tackled by successfully by Anthony Stewart. Stewart does well to hold on to the ball. He passes down the field to Jacobson. Jacobson passing to Vokes. He's now found Horgan. Horgan passes to McCleary. Are Wycombe Wanderers now on the attack? Can they break through the MK Dons defence this time? Across to Dominic Gape, and the answer to that is no. But Ross Vernon, he's listening in. He's enjoying the commentary. And Paul James says hi. Wycombe have had one shot so far throughout this game, nothing on target. But they need to change those stats a bit very soon, as a McCarthy tried to tackle Boateng from behind, but to no avail. And it's now with Warren O'Hora, who passes to Corbeneau. Corbeneau tries to go around Obita, but it's only resulted in the ball going over the crossbar. Well over 65.5 minutes have been played. It's still MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0, although Wycombe still lead by 2-1 on aggregate, as a corner now has been given to MK Dons. It's their 12th in this game. They haven't been able to convert any of those corners into goal. Can they make it? Can they make it successful this time round? Twine kicks the ball into the goal area, and the answer is no, as Horgan tries to pass to I think that was McCleary, but Wycombe couldn't take advantage of the the poorly taken corner. And it looks as though it will be a throw-in to, I think, Wycombe as David Wheeler gets ready to come onto the pitch. Wycombe, in my opinion, need David Wheeler more than ever because he has been great when it comes to substitution. As Anthony Stewart now has the ball. He does a long cross. I think he was going for Sam Vokes, but instead he's gone for Jordan Obita. Obita crossing the ball into the goal area. Finds Dominic Gape! And Gape's shot was just wide. For a moment, I thought it was going to go in. Nice delivery by Anthony Stewart towards Obita. Obita did a good cross towards Gape, but that shot was just wide off the post, and it didn't go in. So Dominic Gape must be fairly disappointed. With that one. But Corbeneau now has the ball once again for MK Dons. He tries to go for a shot but can't. What does he have to do in order to score a goal to score a goal in a crucial game such as this? And it looks to me as though Daryl Horgan will make way for David Wheeler. Indeed, he will. Gets the applause of the few Wycombe fans that are here, some 2,000 of them inside the stadium. MK David Wheeler stands patiently, getting ready to come onto the pitch. He gets ready to make his move. He gets ready to make his move and sprints his way onto the pitch. David Wheeler, who has scored 2 goals this season in 36 appearances, as Jordan Obita was looking to find a way to break through into the Wycombe goal area, but couldn't do so due to the advances of Kane Kessler-Hayden. Meantime, it's now Daniel Harvey for MK Dons, and Troy Parrott's almost tackled from behind. In fact, he was tackled from behind by Tavatsoli. Tavatsoli now passes to Gareth McCleary. McCleary couldn't find a way through and was blocked by Dean Lewington. And with some 20 and a half minutes to go, Wycombe know that time is running out to try and find a way to consolidate their lead. It looks as though they might just have to hang on for some 20 agonising minutes in order to reach the playoff final, as it looks as if it was McCarthy McCarthy took the throw in, and David Wheeler is the referee is discussing something which I did not see, and it's to do with Dean Lewington. He appears to have bundled down his opposite number, Joe Jacobson. I think he should be getting a yellow card for that. I'm surprised he hasn't. That was just absolutely terrible. And anyway, it's resulted in a free kick for Wycombe Wanderers, their first of the game. They need to make this free kick count. If they are to, they need to convert this free kick into a goal. If they are to consolidate their lead, it might be their last chance to do so. It's Anthony Stewart now with the ball for Wycombe. Stewart now trying to go around Troy Parrott. Can he pass to Jordan Obita? The answer is actually yes. Obita almost took it, but tackle from behind on Hiram Boateng. I think that might have been by David Wheeler or somebody. I couldn't see who it was. But you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones, and we're also on the Commentary Hub to Storm FM, and we're also on our Twitch channel. And all of this is possible through our streaming partner, Melon. As Boateng now passes to Corbeau. Corbeau now back towards Boateng now. O'Hora towards Harry Darling. And it's now with Dean Lewington. Lewington now towards Scott Twine. We're now into the 72nd minute. And well defended by a Connor Coventry cross defended very well by Anthony Stewart, and it still remains MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0, although Wycombe still lead on aggregate by 2-1. Will this corner change that as Scott Twine gets ready to take MK Dons' 13th corner? He steps back a few paces. He lines himself up for the shot. The Wycombe, everyone getting into their positions inside the goal area. It's an unlucky 13th for MK Dons. They couldn't convert They couldn't convert the corner into a goal, and Wycombe did really well to defend. And I think that was a foul by somebody on Joe Jacobson. I think it was Connor Coventry, but Wycombe again did really well to defend. But Wycombe did really well to defend this goal from a corner. I think Jacobson fouled Coventry first, and then Coventry retaliated. It looks to me as though an MK Don substitution is about to be made. Is it Connor? I think it's Connor Wycombe by the looks of it, as David Stockdale clears the ball away from the Wycombe goal area. As the ball is now with Josh Scowen, already on a yellow card, remember. But it's only gone and resulted in a throw-in to, I think, Wycombe Wanderers. Yes, it is Wycombe Wanderers, to be taken by Joe Jacobson. Wycombe Wanderers, they're doing really well to hold on to their aggregate lead, but like I say, they need to be attacking. But like I say, they need to be attacking more. And MK Dons just need to apply that bit more. Need to apply a bit more extra pressure if they are to score another goal. As Daniel Harvey now has the ball for the Dons, tries to cross, but well deflected by Wycombe. And indeed, it is going to be Connor Wycombe to come on. He's going to come on in place of Hiram Boateng. Hiram Boateng, he's been in the thick of the action. He's been in pretty much the thick of the action throughout this game, as Boateng makes way for Connor Wycombe. Wycombe sprints onto the pitch. It's another corner to MK Dons. They haven't converted any of their corners into goals. Will they be as successful this time? As Twine kicks the ball into the goal area, punched away by Stockdale, and it's now with Dominic Gape for Wycombe. Gape does well to hold on to the ball. He passes to David Wheeler, but Dean Lewington just deflected it out. And it will be a throw-in to MK Dons. I think Lewington forced Wheeler to. I think Wheeler was forced to just tap it out, as MK Dons are now back in possession with the ball. Coming now, passes to O'Hora. O'Hora now with the ball for MK Dons. O'Hora now passing to Harry Darling. Darling passes up the field to the skipper, Dean Lewington. He's found, I think that's Connor Wycombe, or is it? No, it isn't. It's Scott Twine. Sorry. And meantime, MK Dons will have yet another corner there. 15th. Surely they'll make this one count. As Scott Twine takes a few steps back. He kicks the ball into the 6-yard box, but Wycombe once again do really well to hold their line. And I think it might be just because of that. I think it might well be just through defending those corners alone that could well be the reason that they advance through to the Wembley playoff final. Meantime, Jason McCarthy appears to have been fouled from behind. Brought down. He is sitting up and moving, which is good. The physio comes over to have a look at him, but he seems to be all right. I think he's probably just a bit winded. And momentarily confused, as the MK Dons players are grateful for a quick chance to take a quick sip of their drinks, as Liam Manning walks up and down the pitch, and Carl Robinson knows what it's like to promote MK Dons. He promoted them to the Championship from League One in the 14-15 season. As McCarthy is now back up on his feet, he appears to be okay. That is good news. Will he be substituted? It looks like he might be. As Gareth Ainsworth having a quick chat with Gape and McCleary. The game might not have gone the way that Ainsworth would have wanted, but it's the end result that counts. And right now, the way things stand, it'll be Wycombe that will be going to Wembley, as Stockdale clears the ball out of the Wycombe goal area. He finds Jordan Obita. Obita passes to Sam Vokes, and it's now almost caught by McCleary. McCleary should have had better control of the ball, but he didn't. And it'll be a Wycombe goal, and it'll be an MK Dons goal kick. The Wycombe fans talking very quietly amongst themselves. Despite the fact that their team haven't scored, they are still relatively happy, knowing that the way things stand right now, they are virtually assured a Wembley place. Wycombe just need to hang on to their aggregate lead. It doesn't look like they'll be scoring anything, and doesn't look like they'll be scoring anything within the next 10 or so minutes. And meantime, it's Harry Darling passing to the Dons goalkeeper coming, and he's now passed it out to Dean Lewington. Lewington passes down the field to Harry Darling. 10 minutes to go. It's still MK Dons 1, Wycombe 0. Wycombe lead 2-1 on aggregate, as O'Hora passes to Coventry, and it's now gone to Lewington. Lewington passing to I think that's Harvey. No, it's Parrott. Parrott tackled by Dominic Gape, or Gape tried to tackle Parrott. Trying to hold. Parrott does well to hold on to the ball. He's now passed to Scott Twine. Wycombe take the ball away from him. Wycombe are taking the ball away from him. They're proving to be very strong in defence. Yes, again. Can they hold off this attack by Scott Twine? The answer appears to be yes, but he's given it away. But he's given the ball to Coventry, and it's now Daniel Harvey. This is really tight now, and Scott Twine's effort on goal saved by David Stockdale. But something has happened, which appears to have caught the referee's attention. Was Wycombe pushed from behind? I think he might have been under. I think the ball, and I think the ball might have actually clipped Scowen. by the looks of it, but nothing doing. In the meantime, Sam Vokes looks for an opportunity. Can he find a way through? Not quite. It didn't look like it was going to go, and he's passed now to Joe Jacobson. Jacobson passes to Scowen. Scowen now crossing up the wing, I should say, to Gareth McCleary. McCleary passing to Jason McCarthy. Almost 8 minutes to go. Wycombe need to make the most of the fact that they are close to the MK Dons goal area, and they're not able to do so. It's getting very tense and tight as the 6 minute, as we now have almost 5.5 minutes until full time. Wycombe have been awarded a throw-in to be taken by McCarthy. McCarthy throws to Gape. Gape now passes back to McCarthy, but tackled by Troy Parrott, I believe, or was it Daniel Harvey? And Harvey pushes McCarthy onto the ground. That was absolutely uncalled for, and I think that's a yellow card for McCarthy. I think it's been given to McCarthy by the looks of it. So McCarthy must have done something a bit more serious, but I'm not going to comment further on this as Stewart passes back to David Stockdale. Stockdale clears the ball out towards Sam Vokes. Vokes now passing to Jason McCarthy. McCarthy couldn't hold on to the ball. I think he slipped up, which is why the ball was quickly sent out. I think it was no, I was wrong. It was about 8.5 minutes earlier. It's now coming up to 6 minutes. I'm getting so excited. I'm losing track of the time here as O'Hora passes to Theo Corbeneau. Corbeneau now with the ball. Corbeneau now with the ball for MK Dons, who pass, but given away to Wycombe, and it's now with Twine. Twine passing to Kane Kesler-Hayden. Long range cross by Kesler-Hayden. Almost a shot on goal by Connor Wycombe. It was just over the crossbar. The playoffs are fun times, says Paul James, and they certainly are. With a game like this, everything's still hanging in the balance. Connor Wycombe's header just whistles over the crossbar. And it looks to me as though Kane Kesler-Hayden has been substituted. Indeed, he has, in favour of Dan Kemp. Wycombe needs to make another substitution very soon. They should have done so about 5 minutes earlier or something like that. They appear to have heard me now as Jason McCarthy makes way for the Scottish defender, Jack Grimmer. Grimmer walks onto the pitch. I think that's Daniel Harvey being looked at by the MK Dons physio. And whilst all that is going on, I'm going to consider who my player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, is going to be. There are quite a few contenders, but even though he couldn't get to that Troy Parrott goal, earlier, and because his actions were so razor sharp and his reflexes were so good, I'm going to give the player of the match to David Stockdale, as Rob Kuig, the American chairman of Wycombe Wanderers, looks on in the stands. So our player of the match is David Stockdale, the Wycombe goalkeeper. Well done to him for being so razor sharp. As Tenai Watson makes way for Daniel Harvey. Harvey appears to be hobbling a bit. He might have sustained a knock from a foul by somebody. I couldn't see who, as Stockdale clears the ball away for Wycombe. Caught by Sam Vokes, and it was almost picked up by Gareth McCleary. David Wheeler fouls Harry Darling from behind. He raises his hand to say sorry by the looks of it. Harvey is in a right old temper as Lewington passes to Troy Parrott. Parrott now towards Scott Twine. Twine now clipped away by Anthony Stewart and headed by Gareth McCleary. Wycombe doing really well to hold on with about 3 minutes on the clock left. Jack Grimmer and Gareth McCleary trying to tackle Tanai Watson from behind, but it's only resulted in giving the ball to Harry Darling. Now Scott Twine, and it's now with Warren O'Hora. O'Hora now passes to Darling. Darling passing now back to O'Hora, and now Theo Corbeneau. Theo Corbeneau was in the running for player of the match, but his shots on goal haven't resulted in anything. Again, the Wycombe goal defended that time really well. So it would appear that they wise to with the first half goal by Troy Parrott. Scowen tackles. I think that was Dan Kemp from behind, deflecting the ball away. Good tackle though, but it's resulted in a throw-in as there are now 2 minutes left on the clock. The Chairboys need to hold on to their aggregate goal as Connor Wickham, I should say, now has the ball and deflected away by I think that was Anthony Stewart. And meantime, another MK Dons player has gone down. It's Connor Wickham. I don't believe it. As Joe Jacobson, who appears to have fouled him from behind, and that's resulted in the yellow card. That was a really rough challenge from behind. He didn't get. I don't think that was a touch of the ball. But Jacobson now into the book. That is his 15th of the season, I believe. As free kick has been given to MK Dons. This is the chance for them now to punish Wycombe even further. Scott Twine with the free kick. He kicks the ball in towards the goal area, but Wycombe defend their lines really well. We're now just some 40 seconds from 90 as Corbeneau tries to tackle the ball and defended by Josh Scowen. Scowen livid with Scowen apparently livid with I think his teammates letting the ball in come in that close. We're now into the last 20 seconds of normal time. Scott Twine to take the corner. A couple of Wycombe players arguing with the referee. It's Jacobson and Grimmer. Tom Bramall doesn't want to hear any of it, and he's actually now talking further to Joe Jacobson, already yellow carded. Remember, and 5 minutes have been added. And an additional 5 minutes have been added on. MK Dons need to make those 5 minutes count. And the corner was deflected away, or headed away, I should say, by David Wheeler. David Wheeler took advantage. David Wheeler was able to head the ball away, and the MK Dons fans are sensing, that an equaliser is getting ever closer, but Wycombe doing really well to defend as the ball is now cleared away by Jacobson. But has Jacobson caused another foul? He might well have done, as I think that might have been a foul. Or was it Wheeler? No, it was David Wheeler. He clips Dan Kemp. His boot clips Dan Kemp on the head. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was... I wouldn't be surprised, and Dan Kemp appears to be all right. It's a free kick to MK Dons to be taken by Twine. Some of the fans can't seem to want to watch as Scott Twine lines himself up to take the free kick. This is perhaps the biggest test for Wycombe. It's now or never for MK Dons to level the aggregate score. The whistle blows. Or should I say is about to blow. The whistle blows. Twine kicks the ball and it's over the crossbar and Wycombe are spared their blushes. Twine can't believe it. Did Tavazzoli's head did the use of Tavazzoli's head contribute to this? If it did, then he should well be congratulated by the Wycombe fans and one or two of the MK Dons fans are leaving the stands already. They just can't bear the tension anymore as Jordan Obita tries to take the ball away but can't. It was almost taken off by Gareth McCleary as David Wheeler was fouled. Sam Vokes with the header. It's now with Troy Parrott. Dominic Gate trying to take the ball off Lewington, but Lewington passing to, I think that's Tanai Watson. Yes, indeed, it is Watson. Gate tries to take the ball off him, but can't. Connor Coventry now with the ball for MK Dons. Coventry passing to Scott Twine, although Scowen did well to tackle, and it's now with Joe Jacobson. Jacobson trying to hold on to the ball, does a pass, but it looks to me as though Wheeler just can't get to the ball in time. He's given it away to Harry Darling. And the ball has now gone to, I think that's Darling. Now it's gone back to Connor Coventry. But so what a tense couple of minutes we've had. In injury time as the ball is now with Theo Corbino. Corbino, he tried to score all game, but hasn't been able to do so. And this is no exception. Scowen clears the ball away and it's gone over the touchline. Will it be? And it's another throw into MK Dons. Time is running out for both sides and they know it. They've only got about a minute or so left of the extension time. They need to make the next 57 seconds count as Sam Vokes does well to defend and hold the line as well. Scott Twine now passing to Troy Parrott. Parrott, who scored earlier on, punched away by David Stockdale. Watson tries to get to the ball, but it's given away as a throw. But it's now given away as a throw-in, and it will be MK Dons with the throw. Watson, but given away, but poorly judged and given away. I think a Wycombe player has gone down. Wheeler is being spoken to by the referee, and the Wycombe fans are starting to get up on their feet as they can sense that a place in the playoff final at Wembley is very much theirs. Gareth Ainsworth geeing the fans up by the looks of it, as there are now just a handful of seconds left. We're now into the 95th minute. Will it be Wycombe through to Wembley, or can MK Dons somehow pull something out of the bag and level the aggregate score, which they should have done earlier, in my view, as it's Corbino now with the ball. Corbino crossing, but headed away by Wycombe, and the Chairboys have done it. They've made it through to Wembley. They didn't score in the game, but that doesn't matter to them now. MK Dons, despite getting that earlier goal in the first half, it's not been enough. And Wycombe Wanderers have made it through to the playoff final at Wembley, where they will face Sunderland or Sheffield Wednesday. The players are hugging each other, congratulating each other, and the Wycombe fans are happy as well. Wembley Stadium is Wembley Stadium is only a train ride away from them. So they won't have far to travel. Lewington congratulating David Stockdale, a friendly hug between them. That's nice to see. For MK Dons, disconsolation and jubilation. For Wycombe Wanderers, disconsolation and disconsolation. But for Wycombe, it is utter jubilation as Gareth Ainsworth walks around the pitch, and the Wycombe Wanderers fans are very happy. A friendly hug between Ainsworth and Manning, which is so nice to see. And it'll be Wycombe's second playoff final in 3 years. Remember, they beat Oxford United to win the playoff final, to be promoted to the championship, and this will be a significant one for the club too, because when they were at the final in 2020, there were no fans. Now there will be thousands of them. Obviously, the fans couldn't travel last time due to COVID-19 restrictions, but that won't matter to them now. And the fans are still ebullient, jumping up and down. And Gareth Ainsworth, he's just trying to conduct them from on the pitch, and that is really great to see. Come on, he says, and I'm sure any Wycombe Wanderers fans that are listening will agree with them too. The final score at the Stadium MK Dons 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, but Wycombe win on aggregate by 2-1. And JB Sports says, yes, Wycombe, well done. This is also a win for football. Glad, this is also a win for football. I couldn't agree more. Wycombe Wanderers, they're one of the most popular lower league clubs. They've been able to take on higher league opposition. They're able to take on higher league opposition in the FA Cup and so on and so forth. They even took Chelsea to the League Cup semi-finals in 2007. But what matters now is the jubilation and the parties that'll be going on across Buckinghamshire as Wycombe once again progress through to the League One playoff final. Great comms, says JB. That about wraps it up. That about wraps up our coverage of the League One playoff semi-final. I have enjoyed bringing you coverage of both legs, of both Wycombe Wanderers legs, and I very much look forward to bringing you our alternative coverage of the League One playoff final on May the 20th. Do please join me then. I've been Nicholas Jones. What a night! It was a Buckinghamshire derby, all right. But on the night, it was all coloured in blue. Good night.